Welcome to the Monday Night Raw review before Backlash. My name is George, and boy, this was a good episode of Raw. We had a lot go down on this episode of Raw, from potential Mania rivalries, to new rivalries, to debuts. I'm going to run through the show, talk about what I liked, what I didn't like, and we're also going to finish up the video with the biggest winner and the biggest loser. So let's get into it. We kick off the show with Roman walking into the arena, and who does he bump into? Seth freaking Rollins. And what a moment. It was so cool to have them actually face off just in the backstage setting and to have that potential WrestleMania tease. I feel like WWE is testing the waters with potential Mania matches. We have Punk and Cody teasing a match, and now Seth and Roman as well, which are the rumored matches to be happening at yet next year's Mania. I, for one, would absolutely love this, so I think it was really cool that we kind of tested the waters there. Maybe it's going to happen early at SummerSlam, but hey, time will tell. Seth then tries to walk to the ring, where he's interrupted by Braun Breaker, who throws him into the steel steps, and it was a cool way to start the show, having Braun come straight out there and destroy him. I think it was really good. I like where this is going. I think the match is going to be really good at Backlash, and I, for one, hope that Braun does go over. I think it's the right decision. We then move to the Finn and JD match, and it was a really solid match between the two, which you'd hope so, considering that Finn actually trained JD back in the day. It breaks my heart a little bit seeing Finn lose, because he is one of my favorite people. I feel like after this feud with the Judgment Day is over, he needs to go to SmackDown and just go on his own path there. Nonetheless, solid match. Solid finish. I think I'm happy with JD going over at the expense of Finn is quite saddening, and also further develops the Judgment Day, what's going on there. I like what they're doing with Roxanne as well, with Liv. Bit of tension going on there. I'm now going to look at the tag team match with the IC title scene, where we have Penta and Javon versus Ethan Page and Rusev, and this was awesome. I really I'm loving the whole IC title scene right now. I think they've got such a good cohort in there, and they've done such a great job with especially Rusev and bringing him actually back up after a whole year of kind of nothing. I feel like they've finally found a way to use Rusev, and this tag team match was brilliant. It showcased everyone, especially Ethan Page. I think he's going to be an absolute star on the main roster here, and he even picks up the win and pinning Penta, which I think we're going to get Ethan Page versus Penta quite soon for the IC title, and you never know, maybe Rusev might get involved as well. I'm just loving where this is going. Great match, great finish. Ethan Page has been a great call-up. Massive dub. Next up is the Sol Ruka contract signing, and it was a solid segment. I know there was a lot going on about how she botched the Soul Snatcher, but in all the grand scheme of things, it was a good segment. It's going to be fine. She's going to be fine. And I'm liking the fact that we have Becky and her getting into a feud. I actually thought when we were watching the show last week that when she said Becky was setting up an open challenge, I thought Sol was going to come out then, but now it's setting up for a feud for this week and so forth. So I'm really going to like this feud, and I think she will beat Becky for the IC title. I just don't know, maybe at Saturday night's main event later in the month. And again, another thumbs up. Bit of a side note, but kind of on the same path here. The latest NXT call-ups have been booked tremendously. Even from the start of the year as well, when we had Javon, Trick, and Oba come up into the main roster. And now we have Sol. I just spoke about Ethan Page. And also now I'm going to get into Joe Hendry as well. I feel like everyone is just being booked so well. So like I just mentioned, Joe Hendry getting onto the main roster and having this little bit of a tiff with Logan Paul. I'm liking it. I don't think it's going to be a long-term thing, considering the Vision is now feuding with the Street Profits. Maybe Bronson Reed comes back and we have him and Joe Hendry face off. I'm liking what they're doing with Joe Hendry. The match with him and Austin Theory was fine. Obviously DQ because Logan Paul decided to enter. Then we have everything that unfolded afterwards as well, with Seth, Braun, Street Profits all coming back out again. Just chaos. Maybe we'll get a 3-on-3 match probably next week with the Street Profits and Joe Hendry versus the Vision, or even add in Seth, and then Bronson Reed comes back. Who knows? Time will tell. It's still good though. Next up, we have the Obafemi Open Challenge, and it's the first match in the Open Challenge, and we have the Alpha Academy come out, and it's Otis that challenges Oba. And this was obviously a very quick match, but holy shit, it hit hard. It was a very fun match to watch, despite it being about 2 minutes. They hit each other pretty fucking hard, and it was fun. I love Oba. I love this man. Protect him. King of the Ring. Let's go to SummerSlam and win a title, right? We then get the segment with Io and Asuka talking, where Asuka spits out the poison mist at Io to end the segment. I like this feud. I think it's going to be a good match. And I think I just feel bad for Kairi. It just leaves a bit of a sour taste in my mouth after watching the segment. Like, I just wish she was there because she's been a part of that whole story, and it's not like a story that's just happened over the course of a couple of weeks. This is a story that's happened over a few years. So just to erase someone that has been a crucial part of that, and now we're just focusing on two, it does leave a bit of a sour taste. Nonetheless, I think this match will be good at Backlash and it will end their feud. I feel like they'll still stay on the same show and eventually just do their own things. But yeah, good segment. However, I wish Kairi was there. We then have the El Grande Americano Universe 6-man tag match, and that was just a fun match. If you haven't seen AAA, you need to watch it. The feud there is absolutely incredible, and I can't wait for May 30th, where we have the mask versus mask match, where I think we will see Chad Gable get unmasked and go back to being Chad Gable, which I'm pretty keen for. This is going to be a good match on AAA. I think it's just funny how the dynamic works in WWE and AAA. It's two very different scenarios of who's getting booed, who's getting cheered. Good match. We then have the closing segment, and it's the contract signing between Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns for the world title clash at Backlash this weekend. And I like it. I like this feud. I like what it's done for Jacob, especially putting him into that main event title scene, which we haven't really, I guess we haven't seen it with Jacob. He's had a good win at Mania. Now he's in with Roman, and this feud's been good. It's helped bring up the bloodline storylines back into the fold, which we obviously haven't seen for a few years. And it's just nice to watch, just see Roman kind of get into that bloodline tribal chief mode again. So yeah, I'm liking this. I don't think Jacob is going to win this weekend. However, I'm intrigued to see what's next for him if he doesn't win, because are we going to continue this? Are we going to just move him on to something else? Like, where do we go from here? I'm intrigued. I'm looking forward to this weekend. Great ending to the show. It is now time to talk about the biggest loser and the biggest winners of Raw. So, the biggest loser, Finn Balor. I feel bad saying this because I'm such a massive Finn Balor fan, but this man needs to get off the show and go to SmackDown after this Judgment Day feud. I feel like that was just the end of it. Congrats, he's put over JD. The storyline's done. There's nothing really much more to do here. Let's just get him on SmackDown, and that way he can be on the world title scene there, because they probably need a few more people. I know Gunther's just gone over there, but having Finn on that show will help SmackDown, and it's also going to help Finn. Be the Finn that we all want from Finn. So yeah, we now have the biggest winner, and it is all ego Ethan Page. This man had a great showing on Monday Night Raw. He pinned the IC champ in his second match on the show, and he looked phenomenal with Rusev, and like anything that he was doing in the ring there, and even after the match as well, it was great. Absolutely great. He's gonna be a star, like I said before, and yeah, he deserves to be the biggest winner here, because I think he's gonna end up having an IC title match with Penta. Who knows, will Rusev get involved? I don't know, but I think this man's gonna end up becoming a mid-card champion sometime this year, and maybe a future Money in the Bank winner as well. Who knows? But for now, Ethan Page is your biggest winner. That concludes my review of Monday Night Raw. I hope you liked it. If you did, chuck a like and subscribe. I will see you soon for my review of SmackDown.